Good evening, distinguished Wizards fans. I'm Sully,
I'm Raj.
and this is the Bullets to Wizards podcast.
The Washington Wizards were unable to upset the Tyrese Halliburton-less Indiana Pacers on Wednesday, the score being 112 to 104 in a game that was expected to be a fast-paced, high-scoring affair, but it turned out to be another loss. And now the Wizards are 6-31.
A very,
Well,
a very weirdly low-scoring game for the Wizards this year. Like, honestly, I'm impressed. Their defense was not there's nothing special about the defensive rotations or anything tonight, but keeping a team to 112 is impressive for like the quality of this Wizards team this year.
yeah, so the top performers of the night were Jordan Poole with 28 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Corey Kispert, my favorite, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And Daniel Gafford with 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 blocks.
The landlord was collecting rent tonight.
Yeah,
It's nights
so
like these that get me hyped about Gafford. There's some nights where he gets like bullied by Embiid, and I'm just like, you can't really blame him that much. He has no help in terms of guarding bigs, but at the same time, there's some nights I'm a little annoyed with Gafford, but it's nights like these I'm like, he's just an awesome traditional like old school big man to watch, even if he plays a bit too much video games.
yeah, so coming off of that, the Wizards actually played some decent defense in the first half against the Pacers. Their D limited Indiana to 20 of 46 shooting for 43.5% from the field in the first two quarters. But the problem was the Wizards shot even worse with a 20 to 48 clip for 41% from the field. There were a whopping 16 lead changes in the first half, with neither team going up by more than 6 points.
Yeah, I mean, I think another thing, here, do you have this? I don't know if you have the stat in front of you right now, but
I
I
do.
do recall the 3-point shooting was horrendous tonight too for the Wizards. Like, I
Yeah.
remember late in the fourth, they were shooting like 6 for 26. It's not a winning formula, especially for a team that's built like how the Wizards are.
Yeah, and Corey Kispert actually ignited the Wizards' offense pretty early. He led Washington with 15 points before halftime, 13 of them coming in quarter two, and Jordan Poole added 11 points as the Wizards held a 55 to 54 advantage at the break. Unfortunately, the Pacers came out of the locker room locked in with adjustments being made. They
See,
start
sorry,
no no
but yeah, see, Rick Carlisle, at the very least, you can say he's a top 10 coach. I think a top five coach in the league.
mm-hmm.
And I'm going to probably say this in a lot of episodes this year, but this is another example of what having a top 10 coach versus having the worst coach in the league. This is the difference. Like, it's a lot of these second halves. Like, a lot of these previous games on the schedule, the Wizards had fine enough first and second quarter, but coming out of the locker room after halftime, these other coaches that are just better, like, even Westgate got outcoached by JB Bickerstaff a few games ago.
Yeah.
JB Bickerstaff is not a good
Not
coach.
Bakerstaff.
So it's just it's just frustrating, Wes. And
Yeah. Yeah. So the Pacers, they started the second half with a 10-0 run to take the lead, to take a lead of 64 to 55 against the Wiz. I mean, Poole got hot in the third to keep his team within striking distance. I mean, he had, I think it was like 10 points, 4 assists or something like that in the third quarter, including his final assist to Bilal with his monster jam to close the third.
well, let's see. Interesting storyline with Bilal tonight. So he had that nice little jam. I believe it was around. Was it on Isaiah Jackson or was it around Isaiah
It
Jackson?
was, I think it was somewhat on him. He
He,
wasn't like right in front of Isaiah Jackson.
because I believe
But he kind of went over him.
you remember in the fourth Isaiah Jackson like fouled him
Yeah,
really
yeah, no,
hard,
that was really bad, dude. I was
and
actually
it
scared for a sec.
kind of felt like a little retaliation just because he was annoyed with Bilal's dunk earlier.
That
Okay,
had
I'm
to
looking
be
at
it,
it
right?
now.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it now. Bilal kind of just glided around him in the third.
but he did hit his shoulder. Oh wait, no, you're talking about the dunk. I thought you were talking
I'm
about
talking
the.
about Bilal's
Oh yeah,
dunk,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But I guess maybe there's something about Bilal that ticked off Isaiah Jackson. So
I
I don't
mean,
think Isaiah Jackson is
he
a
got
menace.
dunked on. I guess he was just pouty.
He wasn't really dunked on. That's the thing. He just with Bilal like finessed him. That's all. But
It was
I
still
don't
a pretty
think.
cool dunk. I would
Yeah.
say.
Though I guess I don't think Isaiah Jackson is like Draymond Green. I don't think that foul in the fourth had like the super ill intent. It's probably just heat of the moment. He wanted to slap the ball and he just didn't feel like letting go. Okay, maybe that kind of sounds like Draymond, but in a less aggressive way than Draymond.
Yeah,
Like kept holding onto the ball from Bilal. Bilal hit the ground hard, and yeah, went from there. And then also the Wizards got a lot of calls in the fourth quarter. Like
that's true.
there was a 3 4 minute stretch where the Pacers got no calls. Wizards kept getting foul shots, and that kind of kept us in the game for a bit. Eventually, the Pacers, Miles Turner came in and all that, and then the Pacers had a nice 14-point lead, and then that's all she wrote. But
Yeah, but unfortunately, Poole's big night wasn't enough to keep the Wiz close for long, as Washington fell behind by as much as 17 points in the fourth quarter, like you said before. And Poole's great. I mean, he had some great moves where he was unselfish for once. His turnovers also went down, which can be right. I think he only had like one turnover, right? I think, is that the
let's
stat? Jordan Poole had two turn. Wait, no, one turnover, which it
yeah, I'll
was,
take that. I'll take
which was
that.
unexpected. So the one downside was Kuzma was really terrible tonight. I mean, he was really off. Despite his rebounds and assists, he had zero fouls. I mean, just because of his lack of effort defensively.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like Poole had a night that we would kind of expect from Kuz, and then Kuz had a night that we would kind of expect from Poole.
Yeah, if they both
Role
played
reversal.
together pretty well tonight, then I'm sure we would have come out with at least a closer win,
They
maybe a
haven't done
win.
that. They haven't done that this year.
Yeah,
There's been
they
like
can't.
1 or 2 games where they 20, but they haven't had like a solid like both of them dominating kind of game.
They,
And that's something I really wanted to see at the beginning of the season. That's why a lot of people thought this Wizards team would be really fun to watch at the beginning of the year because they're like Poole, Kuz, shot chuckers. They'll both drop 30 every night, but just hasn't happened. It's either one or the other. And
yeah,
looking at Poole's like recent games, to say this guy is streaky, like gosh darn, like between December 29th and January 6th, he had a 2 point game, an 8 point game, 13 point game, and then the last 2 games he has 28 points and 24 points. It's
mm,
like he has 2 or 3 good games followed by like 5 duds, and it's just like has it in him. I think
yeah,
it is a huge confidence thing. Like as much as we probably will rag on Poole even more throughout because he's going to be on this team beyond this year, but
mm-hmm.
as much as we're going to rag on Poole for his whole all the silly Shaq to no fool things he does, I think with confidence he has the at least ability to be a slightly if more efficient 20 point per game scorer instead of this weird 16 17 point per game like shot chucker. But honestly, it's kind of disappointing to see Kuz like. I feel like Kuz was a lot more disciplined last year, having Beal and Kristaps around. I
Yeah,
remember even
yeah.
interviews,
No, definitely. Judging by his like the way he
even
plays this season.
even in interviews, remember like Kuz said like, yeah, Beal's the option one, I'm option 2 or 3.
Yeah, yeah. I
He was
remember
humble
that.
about it. This year, it's like he knows he has the keys, but he's kind of not playing the best team ball too. So, at the very least, like he doesn't have enough Shaq to the full or locker room issues. So the trade value is definitely more there than Poole, but definitely a little disappointing to see Kuz maybe slightly develop and being a consistent 20 point per game scorer, but then regress as a team overall player.
Yeah, with well, Kuz did have a bad game. More than that, in my opinion, I can't make up my mind, but I feel like they need to trade him because the offense is a mess with him on the floor because they just pass it to him for him to take a shot that does not go in. That shot could be from half court. That shot can be behind the rim, which happened tonight. I don't know what that was, but I don't know if
And,
it's a problem
and
with Kuz and his mindset or the way he plays, but I mean, I would say trade him. Like yeah, okay, he's averages like 24 for us, 22, but at the end of the day, he's not helping your players develop. He's just ball hogging, even though we're
100%
passing
like
to him.
100% like I like Kuz, but in terms of a long term like I'm not even saying championship contender vision, but like a strong playoff team vision. Kuz can be that when he knows his role on a different team, but on this team, yeah, what we're developing, he's honestly a lot of days more of a negative than a positive. And same goes for Poole, same goes for Poole, but we're stuck with Poole, so that's the difference between Kuz and Poole.
Yeah, but even if we don't trade him, at least like sit him or just get him off the floor. So I mean,
Oh, okay.
no, but so our guys
We,
can learn how to like beat their
we can't
man
just let
off the
Kuz.
dribble or shoot the ball without having a clean look. You know, Because they're not doing that. They just pass it to Kuz.
Okay, but you can't play Kuz 20 minutes a game. I mean, the reason Kuz is going to play 35 minutes every night is the same reason Muscala is going to still play 10 minutes every other night. Like,
I
they're
guess,
being
but
they're being showcased for trades, and yeah,
yeah,
like
they need up his
when
trade
you're trying
value.
to, and he's also the most marketable guy on this team because Poole has not been that marketable, even though they plaster him on everything. So yeah, it's like he's technically the face of the franchise right now. So
Technically. And, well,
I
I mean,
understand why West can't just bench him, and he doesn't have West doesn't have like a Coach Spo, like that kind of like level of authority. Speaking of which, Coach Spoelstra had that
he had like an extension, right?
8 years, 120 mil.
Wow. 8 years, 120 mil,
I was
dude.
making like the same that Kuz is making.
That's
Well,
insane.
it's
He
over.
is a really good coach, though.
It's over more years. If I had a coach anywhere close to Spo, I wouldn't mind it though. But in the modern NBA, where coaches get fired so much, it's so interesting to see a long-term commitment like that. But at the same
Eight
time,
years,
also,
120 million.
yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, also, I mean, Coach Spo has been in Miami since what, like 2009, 10, 8, around that. So he's been in Miami for like a good 15 years at least. And he was in that organization. I love his story, the whole like former video coordinator and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, honestly, maybe that's why he's secretly a good game planner, good motivator, just because he came from honestly nothing and worked his way up the coaching ladder. And then Coach West over here, his daddy was
Coach West.
the face. He was the franchise's icon.
If his last name was an unsettled junior, then where would he be right now? Right. So, okay. Coming off of West, coming off of Kuz catching strays, Bilal. Bilal took many hits tonight, especially from Isaiah Jackson. That was, I mean, from different
Yeah.
angles, it didn't look like an actual hit, but it looked like it hurt. Okay.
Isaiah Jackson was almost on the Wizards.
I was about to bring that up actually. He was like a
Yeah,
former pick or something, but then we got
it was
Aaron
it
Holiday.
was it was in the year that it was. This is a really stupid Tommy Shepard move, but it was when we traded for Kuz and KCP and all those guys, Montrezl Harrell. In that trade, we also got a first round pick. But Tommy was like, no, I don't want to use this first round pick. So he traded that first round pick that we got, which turned to Isaiah Jackson, which, ignoring his antics tonight, really solid backup big man. Could use that right now. But then also, he traded that for Aaron Holiday, which I like Aaron Holiday, but he's a third string point guard at best. And so he was only here half a year season, so didn't really move the needle. And then also Isaiah Todd was also in the got in.
Isaiah Todd, the GOAT.
So
Yeah, no, Tommy Shepard, questionable moves, but he's gone finally.
so in a weird way, Isaiah Jackson is another example of the Wizards' weird draft history under Tommy Shepard.
Yeah, but we got Will Dawkins, winger. Michael, I
Yeah.
think that was his name. I don't know. I think it's Michael Winger.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but now we have Bilal because of him.
Also, here, let me double check. Did Jarris Walker play tonight?
Jarris Walker?
Because no, I don't think he did. No, he did not play
He
tonight.
didn't play.
Which, because remember, technically, when we traded the 7th for 8th pick, Jarris Walker was technically the selection that we made. Even though the Pacers told us to make that pick, but in a way, it would have been interesting to see Jarris versus Bilal because they technically were traded for each other. It wasn't that dramatic of a trade. It's not like the whole like Luka for Trae Young like thing. That was a dramatic draft night trade, but Jarris Walker. I mean, I don't know. It would have been interesting to see, but looking at Jarris Walker is in trade rumors and he has not played that much, so don't want to say bust, but he's making me feel better about Bilal, so that's nice.
I mean, he kept fighting after tonight. I mean, his shots weren't going in, but defensively, I think he got. Did he get any blocks? Bilal had. Yeah, okay, he had one block, but still, other than that, his defense was all right. His shots weren't going in, but he kept fighting, and I would say I'm so proud of his young man spirit. You know.
I mean, at the very least, yeah. Today's broadcast was Chris Miller and Glenn Concert, right?
I don't know his name. I just knew Drew Gooden was out.
It was the gravelly voice guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Which he's also an announcer for GW game. He was plugging GW at some point during the game.
He was.
George
I
Washington
don't
University
remember that.
basketball, but I was trying to, because like I was about to say the cool baby nickname for Bilal.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to remember if Drew Gooden or Chris Miller did that. I think that was a Chris Miller
I think no,
invention.
that was Chris Miller. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Chris Miller. I remember.
but I don't know. How do you feel about Glenn Consor tonight?
He was funny, man. I don't know. It was kind of refreshing not hearing Drew Gooden talk about himself most of the time.
Because Drew Gooden has this thing where he's like, "Oh, look at Gafford struggle to box out Embiid or whatever." Or I guess tonight, look at Gafford struggle to box out like Miles Turner, and it's like, yeah, like I'm sure Gafford knows what he has to do, but Turner is just better. And it's like Drew Gooden, you were a very solid like backup big, probably better than it. I think Gafford is a better player. Well,
I don't know
okay,
anything about Drew Gooden.
try to probably maybe not Wizards Gooden, but like Cleveland Gooden maybe was better than Gafford. But my point is it does something tedious seeing Drew Gooden. I know he's trying to give like a good like, oh, like, this is what a coach would say, like tough love, but like sometimes it sounds like he's like tooting his own horn. That like,
Yeah, like,
oh,
oh, I would have done this. I'm like, all right, man.
yeah, and like Drew Gooden is funny. I do like his personality, but
But the other guy, I keep
that's
forgetting
a
his name.
nice
What's his name?
professional.
The other announcer tonight. What was his name?
Glenn Consor.
Him. He was funny. I don't know. Something about him. I'm like, damn, I want to keep listening. But
Honestly, it's a very Patrick Mahomes. It's a very Mahomey esque
oh,
voice he
that's
has.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
He's
because
he's got to
Mahomes
say it.
also
He's got to say it
funny.
eventually. He's too funny.
Yeah.
Um,
I did not expect to say Mahomey on this podcast, but Glenn Consor does have a Mahomey esque voice.
Mahomey-esque voice. Uh, while we were just talking about Gafford, there was a little block party tonight with Daniel Gafford. He had 6 blocks, matching up against Miles Turner, which I would say was pretty good for him. And DeLon Wright and Mike Muscala were also kind of mid tonight, combining for 4 points. So
Okay, but to be fair, if we're gonna get hyped over the Bilal dunk in the third, we also have to remember Gafford caught yet another stray when Jordan Nora
no,
dunked over him.
oh no, Gafford, dude, that looked horrible.
I mean, at least it's not Durant again, but still Jordan Nora, very athletic big.
That was so unexpected. It didn't look like he was gonna dunk that. He was right in front of the rim.
Yeah.
But DeLon Muscala combined for 4 points. Your favorite Wizard last year. What happened to DeLon, man?
I don't know. I think he does. I don't. I think he doesn't understand what this team wants to do. Like,
DeLon, 14
which I mean,
minutes.
I don't think anyone like you were talking. I remember you before the show. You're like really upset about the team chemistry in this game, and like I definitely agree. Like no one knows their role, and if you want to like articulate that more, go ahead.
Articulate. You know what? We'll get
Like
to that. We'll
articulate.
get to that.
Okay. Okay.
But we're gonna keep talking about the game. DeLon Wright, he played 14 minutes. He was 1 for 4 from the field, 0 for 1 from three, 1 for 4 from the free throw line. So okay, rough shooting line for DeLon. I mean, sometimes he can knock it down at the rim, but I guess he only had 4 shot attempts, so I guess
Yeah.
he didn't get his opportunities there.
I don't know what DeLon did when he was gone with injury because he never hung out with the team on the bench. He just kind of disappeared. He came back with the long hair. He said he looks like What did you say he looks like?
21 Savage.
Yeah, which I see that he came
He
back
has the
looking like
hair. He
the
came back
21
looking
Savage.
like
Honestly,
21 Savage.
it's a badass look, but I don't know.
I like this new DeLon look.
I like the look. I don't like his new play.
Yeah, no, the look is cool, but his new play is interesting. I don't know
I think
when he came back from injury, I would say he handled it pretty good. Like coming back his first game, I remember him just going to the rim, getting some points, passing the ball, not ball hogging like he used to. I don't know. I
yeah,
guess just tonight was rough for him.
yeah, and I think also just like I mentioned, not nobody really knowing their roles and like I think last year's team was also not a good defensive team, but it was at least people knew their roles. It was competent enough where Delon could do his thing. But when everyone is just leaving their man open, no one's rotating. Delon can't be a superhero. He can
Yeah,
only guard one guy. He can only
yeah,
play zone in one area.
yeah, yeah.
So I think like Bilal is really good, but he could shine even more if there was just any other competent like defensive system in place by Coach West. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add on for the game recap?
Uh, I do want to say, there's the thing I said that was gonna happen. There's two things I said was gonna happen because you were mad hopeful yesterday because we beat the Pacers before,
I
and you
mean,
were like,
without
oh
Halliburton, I'm like, obviously, maybe we'll
yeah,
stand a
I
chance.
know these Wizards. They play down to their competition even though they're not a good team themselves. They give as much effort as the team as like the talent level they perceive the other team to be. Like we'll play the Pistons close. We play the Thunder close because they try to play up to or down to the competition because effort just isn't always there at this team. So I think no Halliburton with Halliburton, I don't really think it like this team is just such a weirdly bad team that like I don't really think it matters that Halliburton was there or not. And
Yeah,
like I said, it's opportunity for a really pesky player like TJ McConnell to really shine
yeah,
today.
yeah. Like, really, are we letting T.J. McConnell? Like, come on, man.
I mean, bro,
He's not Steve Nash. Like, what are you doing?
Brode has made a living being like a whole hustle guy, and I mean, I don't want to get into whole like small white hustle player or whatever,
Yeah,
but like TJ
it's just
McConnell,
T.J.
he does
McConnell,
hustle.
man.
He
Come
has a
on.
decent enough jumper. He can pass the ball, and it's like you saw he was like he's almost looking like Jose Alvarado out there, kind of like
Yeah,
the way
like
he was
he
just
just
like
did whatever he wanted.
he was
Like,
stripping Wizards players. He was
he just did what he just ran, and he made shots. I don't. No one stopped him. It was
yeah
super
like
open. Who was
every,
on him? Who was on TJ?
my guess it would be Tyus or Poole or
Yeah, dang.
some.
But I mean, no. If we're
This
letting
team is
TJ McConnell do that to us, just like
this team's. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I wasn't saying anything after
I'm just saying this team is so predictably horrible that like
that.
I can see everything coming from a mile away. Like the Hawks game, like I know Dejounte Murray's in trade rumors. The Hawks are kind of in a weird place right now, but it'll be close for three quarters again. There'll be 7 minutes left in the fourth. We'll be down eight, and then Trey Young will hit like a bunch of threes, and it'll be a 15-point game and game over.
Yeah,
Same script. Like probably Emeka Okungwu gonna get 15 rebounds. Clint Capella too, and you don't even look up the betting odds. Oh, besides like the Pistons and Spurs game, we're just favored to lose. Like honestly, if you want to just hammer like $1,000 on like,
just bet on the Wizards losing, man.
yeah,
Easiest money ever.
I don't like the idea
Easy.
of betting. I don't like the idea of betting against my favorite team, but
But
easy money for Wizards.
yeah, yeah. But no, it's tough to really break this game down because every game has the same issues. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all the deficiencies we had in this game was the deficiencies we had all year long. Like, we can't defend the perimeter to save our lives. Like, players are able to drive through the lane with ease. I'm saying this because of what TJ McConnell did to us again. Like, he's not a very athletic guy. And Gaff, yeah, he had 6 blocks, but he needs some help.
Yeah, like sign it. Just add a center. We can still be a bad team and have a backup center. Like I don't get it. I don't get the self sabotage. Like I understand taking, but I don't get it.
And then there are chemistry issues we need to discuss. Like, I don't know what they need to do, but they need to show more heart. Like, I know we're six and something, but just some more passion and effort defensively because you're just letting guys waltz through the lane and there's just no effort there. I just think a lot of these guys are checked out. I mean, for example, look at Kuzma. Like, I remember watching the press conference after the OKC game, and you can tell that just by the look in his face, he's done. Like, there's a lot of frustration in that locker room.
Yeah, and it's just I mean, yeah, like you said, Kuz he goes on Twitter every day. He's very active on Twitter. I'm sure he sees every day trade rumors. Poole, I don't think ever really wanted to be here in the first place.
Yeah,
Um, Corey and Denny, I'm sure they're fine here, but they've never really been in a culture that taught them. Like they've never been in Heat culture. They've been raised in this Wizards culture, so that's why they play. This like everyone else on this team.
mm-hmm.
Um, Gafford, like, okay, I love Gafford. Gafford has
I
heart,
love Gafford. He's a fun guy, really
but
nice guy.
like, same time, like maybe lay off the video games a little bit. Did you talk to him on Twitch before?
Yeah, no, I hit up Gafford on Twitch. Like,
Okay,
I
tell
came
us
into his
about that.
chat, and
Tell
I
us
remember
tell us
he
about
was playing COD. I see him live because I was gonna stream on Twitch. I used to do that for fun, and I was about to stream, and then I remembered, oh yeah, Daniel Gafford also streams. So I searched his name up, and what do you know? Gaff21, I think that's his username. He was live and he was just playing COD, and I entered chat. I'm like, yo, Gaff, what's up? Instantly, yo, Raj, what's up? I'm like, oh wait, no way. And then there are other guys in the chat. I think there was like at least 10 more, and we're just talking about like what he thinks about the team, what he thinks about the other guys. Does he want to get traded? All of that. But I don't remember exactly what he said. But okay, just
Bro.
because you could use that time to go to like the gym and work on.
He does look stronger this year with
Oh no,
arms.
yeah, no. What he does this year, he definitely would have done like he wouldn't have done 2 years ago.
And he's been more healthy than previous years. I'll give him credit there, but
Yeah. Oh,
there's
he's
some
also
areas
been
like
healthy.
I feel like he could have had developed a jumper this offseason. Like Gafford with a mid-range jumper would change a lot of things for this team, just like floor
Oh,
spacing and all that.
if Gafford gains a jumper. Oh man.
I don't remember which game it was, but like 1 or 2 games ago. So that like Gafford that insane like overshot like air ball from the mid-range. No one was around him, and it was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But
Um.
I mean, is there? Yeah, I mean, even if you look at like the Shamus, the Gallinaris, like I don't think they really their whole taste of this team has been this whole like 6 and whatever record or what are we at right now?
Hmm?
Let me see. We
Oh, our
are
record, we are 6 and
6 and 31.
31.
Yeah, so the new guys like your Shamus and Gallinaris, they don't see anything worthwhile in this whole Wizards culture, especially like Shamit has been on competitive Phoenix and Philly teams. Gallinari's been in a lot of competitive situations. So yeah, then like I'm gonna comment on Johnny's work ethic. I don't know what he's doing these days.
Yeah, me neither. I saw him. I saw him today. He was like the a camera zoomed in on him, and he was going to like there's like a little candy section where the announcers are, and he was just grabbing a pack of Snickers or something. I'm like, okay, Johnny, just snack up on the bench or something. I don't know. I found that pretty
Dude,
funny.
what he was eating Snickers like
I don't know. They were just
on
recording him
game
grabbing a
time?
piece of candy.
Bro, that is such a bad look.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man.
I know he's a Taco Bell guy, but still.
I like the Taco Bell commercial.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know who I want us to. I don't because we're gonna have to get some people back in the trade deadline. We'll make trades. We'll get like some roster filler players. Do I want youngins? Do I want veterans? I don't really know at this point.
I think
We'll have a
we can
future
talk about
episode.
trades. Yeah, yeah, in a future
We'll have a
episode.
future. We'll have a future episode. Where we fire up the trade machine and have like legit trade proposal ideas and stuff. Obviously, draft picks are the number one desire. I don't. We're not gonna get more than one. Like I think Kuz could get us one, but
One, he's getting us one.
maybe a few years ago in the NBA, everyone's giving out like 3, 4 picks at once. Maybe we could get 2 first rounders for Kuz, but not anymore.
Two is really a lot to ask for. Like it could be
Well,
possible. It could be possible.
no.
If Winger Dawkins if they work their magic, maybe just maybe the slightest chance Kuz can give us 2 first round picks. No, all right, never mind.
You're very
I'm a
classy.
delusional Wizards fan.
No, and then we'll get probably 2 or 3 seconds for Shamit, and then it's whatever. Probably, I don't know, we'll probably freaking get someone like Mo Bamba will show up on this team or something. I don't
I
know.
I'll take Mo Bamba, man.
Honestly, tall guy.
He's tall. That's all I want. That's all anyone needs.
Yeah.
There's one more thing I want to add on about the chemistry issues. I was talking about Kuz like during his press conference when you can tell that, I mean, he looked done. There was Delon tonight. Like you don't really see Delon get mad or frustrated at his teammates, but him and Poole were going at it tonight. But I mean, what can you say? Different games, same script, same issues. If they're not gonna try and fix these issues, then this is just gonna be the end result of every night because they gotta show some effort, some heart, and there's a lot of guys in this league that aren't athletic, but they can play defense because they have heart. Like you don't have to be the most athletic guy. You just have to have some heart and play hard. Like for example, take Pat Bev, like Patrick Beverly. He's not the most athletic guy, but he's got that dog in him. You know,
That's the only reason he has a job. It's got that
just
dog
it's
in it.
that mentality. So if our guys, like I know we're 6-31, but you're still an NBA player. You're making millions. Come on, play the game with some heart. Because I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, these players look dead. And then I watch like a Memphis Grizzlies game with first like the Pelicans, right? Those guys are fighting for their lives. Like I know we have a bad like, um, what's the word? We're 6-31. I know. Still, prove yourselves.
Yeah, 100%. Like did the Grizzlies win or
The
oh yeah,
oh
so yeah, it's like first game. Grizzlies actually a really good example because Jaw's now out with the season-ending injury,
yeah,
but as
but they
soon
still
as
won with Desmond Bain.
yeah,
The
well,
last game.
their last game, I think it was against the Mavs
Yeah,
with Kyrie and Luka, and it's like the Grizzlies still have a really bad record because they're 14-23 and they had a really bad start. Jaw gave them some wins, but now Jaw they know is out. They could just throw in the towel and be like, the season is a wash. But they played their heart out. They honestly like dominated Luka and Kyrie, and it's like damn, why
yeah,
can't we have that kind of
yeah.
heart? It's
Literally, you don't have to be like Luka Doncic. You just have to be a guy with heart, and you could play well. Like if our guys had some spirit out there, this game would have. It would be different. It would definitely be different.
at the very least, there are fans that are still like us, like probably a lot of our listeners, like the ones that still do show up to Capital One Arena, and
Yeah,
they're paying money. They're still paying money to support this team, and the least you could do is give a good effort for them, just to give them something fun to watch. Like I thought this would be a fun bad team to watch. This team is not a
no,
fun. Team.
I
Just
mean,
a
yeah,
this is not.
it's not fun to watch,
It's
man.
just
Unless they fix something. He has to fix something in this. Switch up the starting lineup a bit. We had the same starting lineup since the start of the season, and
and like I remember old coach. I mean, when Coach West started, he had so many different random lineups he would go through. But now he's like,
yeah, he's just
I
sticking with
wonder
his
if he's
good
trying to.
old Avdia, Tyus, Poole, Gaff.
There's
Uh,
probably this. I feel like there's a small part of West that knows he might make it to next year, but he's not making it beyond next year, and
no,
that's why.
definitely not.
And that's why,
Unless he switches something up, man. Because I don't know, like
unless we get lucky and like Alex Sarr or something, we draft him and he's like a savior and he like elevates Coach West or something. But
yeah, I don't know. Well, like we said in the last episode, we just gotta see with time.
yeah, and this team, I think they like each other based on like the videos of them eating dinner together and all that. Even like before the game, you saw like I kind of like I see you saw like Muscala and like I don't know, I think it might have been Devon, right? They were like laughing. I saw like the pregame warm ups and they were like bumping each other, like laughing and stuff. And
Yeah,
it's like also they like each other enough. So they have like good off the court chemistry. I think in huge part thanks to Gil. But
yeah,
it's just that on court chemistry they don't know how to play with each other. And they probably never will. This team will never figure it out, if we're being honest.
they have to. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if they have the heart to care that much anymore to switch up. I don't know. I don't know.
Should have kept Chris Paul. I don't know.
I
That's
honestly I wouldn't be mad. Chris Paul would be a good mentor to these guys.
yeah.
He would bring them all together.
Chris
He's
Paul
injured
mentored
now,
Shea.
but
Chris Paul, if we're talking about being the OKC Wizards, I mean, Chris Paul did mentor Shea when the OKC was bad-ish. So
uh,
who knows? We'll see you guys in the next episode. With similar rants, but we'll definitely start having. We're definitely getting closer and closer to the trade deadline, so we'll start having. We'll fire up the
mhm.
trade machine. We'll have a couple. Both me and Rod will prepare 3 or 4 trade proposals. We got a lot of fun things coming up. And even the production quality of this podcast, the next few episodes expected to improve. I'm not in my usual setup, so I don't have my good microphone with me and my good lighting. So in the future, I will have that, and then also, yeah, we also plan to have once we secure a few things, we'll have say music, maybe some trivia segment here. There, we got a lot of fun things in this podcast. We're gonna do a lot of wizard analysis. But we're also gonna have fun here.
Yeah, exactly what Sully said. There's a lot of things played in the future, but right now we're kind of just testing things out, see where this goes, all this out.
We promise you. Every episode we'll be trying new things. Each episode, unlike the Wizards, each episode will be getting better and better. And for those of you that are already listening to us, we thank you. And yeah, anything else you want to say, Raj?
Exactly what you just said. Thanks for the guys listening to us.
Yeah, so feel free to leave a 5-star review.
Or
Um,
just any
or
questions in
if
the
you don't,
comments.
yeah, drop a comment, follow our socials. If you don't feel like leaving a 5-star review, hold that anger, maybe direct it on like the Wizards Reddit or Wizards Twitter or something, but don't take it out on us. But yeah, I think that's a wrap for today's episode.
All right.
Keep on hitting those DC threes, everybody.